have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria.
Hi there everybody, it's Kirsty from Adeline Country Cottage, and I am back, and I wanted to create something out of all of this stuff. Now you would have already seen in a few years ago when I did the daily December journal, I did a little page of this in there. However, I have now converted it into my new journals, as you are aware. So these are going to be released as well. These are being released on my website right now. However, I thought I will show you a tutorial to make like a Christmas ornament out of this front cover. So what you see on the front here, not necessarily that picture. I've actually gone with a different picture here. And so what we're going to do is clear off the desk, and we're going to go and get started, and then I'll show you that journal. A little bit, actually, yeah, you can see what it is. So I'm just going to show you the products that you're going to need. So what we're going to begin with, we're going to need some card. So I'm actually going to slice this in half and maybe just take off the ends and make it maybe oval or so somewhat. And then we're going to put on some tea dyed, let's put that just down here. Then we're going to use some tea dyed paper over the top of the card, and then we're going to add some color. We're going to paint it, which is basically like that, and from there, so we'll probably find, actually we might find a little bit of a lighter one. I think I might have a bit of a lighter one. It gives it a little bit more of that grey coming through. Yeah, here we go. So it's a little bit more on that grey side. See how it's got that same colour here on there. So yeah, so we'll use that, and I'll just take this one away. So that's what we're going to need. So we're going to need some card, we're going to need the paper, we're going to need some white paint. Now I actually chalked it up. To memory, I think I actually used baby powder at the time just to give that a really smoothie finish. So what we're going to do, we're going to grind down some of this plaster, and we're going to put, sort of add that to the paint and to give it a bit more of a smoother finish. So we're going to need that. Now we're going to need some muslin, which we've got some muslin. We're going to need some, I keep every cut off of all my sewing and string. I like to use it in my artwork. So that's going to be able to create that side of it. And then of course we're going to have, we're going to create the little stamp here. So we need a little bit of ledge paper and a stamp. And then I've added a few little bits of flower here and there. So I've got some of this old vintage fabric. And obviously the stamp is for the date. So we've got that, and of course most importantly we're going to choose an image. Now I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I notice that's got a bit of black in it, but I mean once you've cut that out that should be fine. I'm thinking that maybe the if we're going to cut this in a different shape, I might actually anyway, let's get started and we'll see how we go. And we'll cut them both out, and I'll just leave my journal sitting there. That one's my journal, by the way. Okay, so we're going to begin with we'll cut out this. I'm a bit parched today. All right, let's begin. Look, I don't fuss too much, but cut it. And think I actually used this in one of my other Christmas decorations. Or were they just the heads? I think they might have been just the heads that I cut out, cherub heads. Alright. Look, I don't bother. As you can see, you can still look on there. That one's been cut out the size. That would take way too long for my liking to create. If you want to fussy cut all the way around that, you can do so. I think I actually did that with the cricket and cut it out so it was precise, so that I didn't have to do it myself. But in this tutorial, I could have had some already cut out, ready to go. I thought I actually had, but no. So we'll just do it as quickly as possible so that the tutorial is not hugely taking too long. Alright. We'll just take a bit more of that white off. I feel like I've missed out on so much in 2 years of not being here. Okay, I think that should be plenty. I think otherwise we're going to be here watching me cut the whole lot out. Just get a bit more off her top of her head here, and I think we should be pretty much done really on having that out. I'm going to lay her down. I'm really hoping that she is going to be the one to use. Now, let's get rid of that. My cardboard, I actually stick it to that background that you saw where it's all colourful. It's actually stuck to my bench, so I just flip it up. So there's no time to worry about. And as you know, I just always cut my papers and cardboard with my palette knife. Okay, so we need to make some room so that way we've got, she is kind of a bit big though, isn't she? Maybe we should take off and take her away her little stand. I'll bring it down a bit. Alright, so now what we need to do with that is we need to stick this on, and I am going to flip up my mat before I start, because otherwise if I start I'm going to completely dirty up everything. Alrighty. Now that we are back, let's go. Alright, let's get on with this. Alright, so I need that, and I want to cut this out immediately so that it's ready to go. Where is the end? Okay, so I just need a little piece so that we can actually stretch, but we don't want that end bit because, yeah, we want this end. There we go. So we just want about cut it here because we want to be able to do that whole stretch thing, which is what you see that I've sort of stretched, glued, stretched, and just pushed it all down. Yep. So let's get that. Actually, I'm going to tie. Sorry, I'm just going to tie this around here so that way it's out of the way. And leave that sit up there. Alright, so we are going to cut off about that much. Alright. we want to slightly give it a bit of a fray as well. Make that bottom bit. Maybe I'll cut that off too. And I never throw that away. That can also potentially be tied onto a paper clip and added onto something else. So let's just get this all so that when we put it on and glue it, it's all stretched out. All right, so that's created, that's done. So how I generally do this part is that I get and my trusty other glue. That's on. Okay, rough. Yes, rough. I'm nervous. I'm still nervous. I'm rough as guts. All right. So we stick that to there. All right. I know that's all neat as anything, but I want to just do that. Just rip it down. There you go. That. Alrighty. So what we have is there. Now, this is generally what I would do. Alright, we put that to the side. We put her to the side too. I don't know if you can actually see. Oh, I'm way off camera. Why don't you yell at me? Okay. So I've got titanium. It's not usually what I like to use. I like to use wall paint, and I mean wall paint, like for your walls, or ceiling paint. Mostly ceiling paint, because it's I don't know, for some reason it's got like it helps with that chalky effect that you're after. Let's line everything up over here so we know what we've got. Now. Put that there, and that's licorice. We need the chocolate as well, actually, and the ink, Kaisercraft. Now, in this here, what we want to do is get our palette knife, and I just want to shave some of that down. What I'm trying to do is just create a dust. This is basically chalk paint, if you want to think of it that way. It's a quick and easy way of doing it. That's how I do it. If I don't have any chalk paint on hand, actually, you know what I do have? I have that I think it's Sweet Pickens. Sweet Pickens, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, I bought it from Jamie Ray, my favorite girl. Jamie Ray Vintage, I bought it from. Anyway, I've got that somewhere. I've got to dig that out actually. So what we need is just get a little bit of water. I've got a little bit left in this. I'm just going to mix that in there. I mean, it looks pretty goopy and yuck. Okay, so we get a bit of paint and I mix it in there. Because I want that, I do want a bit of smooth feel, but I want a bit of that chalky feel. So when you're touching it, it's like eggshells. Although, as I mentioned, titanium paint is not the best to do it with because, well, it's an artist paint, acrylic. Yes, the ceiling paint is acrylic, but it's very cheap and easier. It's nice to use and it's the quickest, easy way to make chalk paint. Anyway, so I just do this. So we want this to dry immediately. So that's why we're just doing it like that. Okay. Chalk also helps things dry faster. Now, I always keep any wipe-ups of inks and stuff like that. I keep all of these because I like to rub stuff back with them. Also helping it dry faster as well, and able for you to keep moving. And if you rub in between times, it also you can build up on it, on the paint. And sometimes, like on one of the other journals, I'll come in and I'll just do this on one of the other inserts. I think it was, I don't know if it was in there, that journal at the back, on the back page. I just sort of, it's just a couple of trees. And make sure you use a cheap brush because the way that it frays out, it gives that nice rugged look. Okay, so that's with that for the moment, and let's get this again. It's like it's there, but it's not there, like you try to rub that out. Now the front side, we're doing the same. It's rough, we don't care, the rougher the better. That's about my motto. Just get down, let's get it moving, get things moving. Yep. See how the layers just build up on my table? Okay, so that's dry to the touch, but now you see on here I've actually stitched, but I'm going to hand stitch around mine, very rough and ready. And then see how I've done a second stitch, but I've actually done it with a black pen. So, which being, where are you? This one. Yeah, so we will be doing that. Now, meanwhile, let's see if we can get yeah, I think we need to move it in on this one. It's going to be big stitches. I just want to do it slightly a little bit different. Get in there. There we go. Right. Sorry, I just need a mouthful of my tea. It's sorry to reach. Let's cut that. One day I will show you my messy studio. I've been working on so many different things that it's just chock-block full of stuff everywhere. It's like I can't move right now. Alright, so let's see how I'm really messy. Where do I want to put it? Okay, let's go in from here. And I think I want to do, this is what I normally do. I'll put this down. Let's get that through. And I normally just poke the hole. And the reason why I did that is because I really want that to go back inside in there. Actually, let's just do that. Let's take that in there. That way. Yeah. And then we can go back in. Alright, so when I want a bunch of holes, I literally just do this because it makes life so much easier when you're hand stitching through card and so forth. It is the quickest and easiest way so that you can just thread. all the holes are already there and you're not forcing it. I should have done that with the last tutorial that I did, so that way it was a lot easier. So if you do this, it legit cuts time in half when you're sewing. And this here is an actual stamp block. It's where you're supposed to put down your ink stamp, but I tend to use it for other purposes, as you've just seen. All right, so now it's just a case of, you know, just going through all your holes. Okay, so it seems that I've kind of, you know, I don't know, what have I done, what have I done? Let's get that right through. Okay, and we'll tie this off. Thought I did something drastically wrong, but I didn't. Although I went to pull it through and I snapped it coming through, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. That can, as I said, you keep and then you put in here. Right, so that's there. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly draw down like it's more stitches. You know, I just wanted that little bit of black on them when I was doing it, because originally it was meant to be black stitching because I wanted it to pop, but it didn't work. So you just do something like that. And now here comes a little bit of the fun part. All right, so now what we're going to do is that we're going to stick on the muslin. All right, now I used now what I ended up doing, so let's just do that. And I'll do, oh no, it's not, I had it going in the wrong direction. You just want a bit of that color coming in. All right, I really mucked that bit up. No, I didn't. Nothing's ever mucked up because we can always go back over it. All right, just to get rid of that, you know, just adds to that layer effect. All right, so how I didn't even use glue, to be honest. All I did was I went like that and just put a big blob of paint down, right, because that's where that extra bit of lightness comes up, and then I just pushed and squeezed and got that all going on in there. Yes, you'll end up with dirty hands, but that is the whole fun of art, getting dirty hands. Right, I went over this a bit just to get rid of that excess and see how it makes it a little bit harder, like it hardens up, and that's what I like. And you're getting those layered effects. That's what I like about it. All right, so you get some of that and just stick that in there like this. All right, so that's that. Where's my little, I need to wipe my fingers a little bit. Now, I actually did the same with the cotton when it went around. Okay, so we're going to find a color. So let's say we want some of this, and we want some of this kind of taupey color. And let's take out that black, even though I don't mind it in there. I don't want that in, and I don't want that blue. Actually, if we got blue, oh, it's kind of got a little bit of blue in it. How about we leave that? All right, so we got that black out. Now we need, I want a bit of the, where is it? It's like this color here. Yeah, there it is. So we want a little bit of that without the black. Alright, so that's what we want. Alright, so we can move right along from there. Okay, so this is also, again, because see how you've got the layers of the, you know, in here, can you see? Where it's got the paint, the thick heaviness of that paint in there. Yeah, because all of this is just basically just painted and stuck on with paint. I didn't use glues or anything like that. So, but we want to create like that circle inside here like this, yeah? So, what I tend to do is I get a little bit more heavy on the areas where, just that bit where it helps stick. And then we just add this in and around, in and around, in and around. Right, as it gets older, the paint starts to get yellow, so it gives it that effect. So what we might, because this is, I just realized that this one, we need to put a bit of glue on her, because she's a bit bigger, and being able to put, I should have put this on first to get that string around. And you know what else I've forgotten? I'm really trying to rush ahead because I'm trying to keep my videos down. I forgot to give her a bit of a colouring of aging on her. So let's get a little bit of that happening in areas. I know that glue's on the back, so I'm just trying to make sure. That way it helps hide a little bit of that that white, you know. So don't do what I did and put glue on the back first. Make sure you age your little picture up first, your little angel up first, before you actually do that. So that way she's all completely aged and ready to go. I mean, I probably do that way beforehand. All right, so we're going to put her down on there, stick her down, and it's still pretty wet, so it doesn't matter. See how I get the paint on? I have to then start to rub, because, you know, it's also part of adding it into the actual artwork itself, so she doesn't stand too far out. All right, now we want, get that in, get that over here, up here, and we want to mush that into the paint. It is the most messiest thing, but I just love how it looks. I mean, it's all coming together as it is. You know, some I leave the strings to come across the actual image itself. You know, you can use glue. I mean, I will be using glue now. I'm just going to take off some of that paint off my hands. Yeah. I always keep a packet of, what do you call it, you know, bacteria wipes, always, just so that I can clean up my hands, just a tad. All right, so we are now going to add a little bit more glue that just gives it, that holds it down. Now this is where this little thing always comes in handy, because, you know, it helps hold down that string. And then we add a little bit of paint on top of that string, just to, in some areas, just that just helps hold all of that in. See how messy it is? You pull stuff off, you put it on, and then you think, oh, why did I do this? And then you think at the end, oh, you know what? I actually love how it turned out. So we'll just bring that in a little bit up off her face. Yeah. Okay, now let me see if I can get some of this paint to hold some of it down. Alright, it's about mushing it down a little bit here and there. See, just adding little bits of layered paint just to mush it down and tuck those threads in. Okay, now, okay, right, now, from there, see, it doesn't look, see how it doesn't have that yellowy effect like it has on here? In time, that will happen. That will start aging even more. You know, I mean, you can fast track that up. That's how I usually do it. So that way, you know, because originally I kind of wanted it on the white side. All right, so now we need some of these. So because this is so old, and I mean mega old, it is so easy just to just rip it in your hands. And I think we only need about 3 pieces, so just get rid of that. And we just get a bit of that glue and we just stick it on in areas. Again, I am the messy girl. I'll put one over here. And here. Actually, I might do one more. I mean, normally I just do 3, but I might just do like a little smidgy bit. Bit of a smidge up on the top here. Oh, the fingers. The fingies aren't working. Okay, there we go. So now what we want to do now is that we just want like a little something from the ledger paper. If we just do kind of something like that, and I just do a little bit of a, you know, and I smidge it with my hands, because you know your hands get a little bit dirty, so you're just rubbing it in. And constantly do that. We might have added a little bit too much, but that side's better actually. And I love how it's got a bit of script in there. There's script under it. Alright, so that will be perfect, because see, that's a bit much, but this side's actually worked out perfect. We need December. Now, is it? Let's see if I stamp that. Let's see, I always get this confused. Okay, let's see where we go with this. Alright, now we want to do it. How about we do it on there? Ah, perfect. So, do we want it black? How about we do a bit of brown and a bit of black? And then we just stick that on. And this is now a bit of glue on here. Just, I don't even bother filling the whole thing, right? And we just put that on here like so. And then because I paint all my staples, or well, you know, with what do you call it, Sharpie. and they come out already black, so that's fabulous. Love that for me. Already done. And that's pretty much like done. I don't think there's anything else that we need to add to that at all, but I'm kind of thinking we need to hang this like it's a tag or something, you know, and I kind of like to rough up those edges a bit, to be honest. It's a little bit too much. It's okay if it's a journal, but I just want to rough that up so like it's been around a while. And we might get that ink thing on. Oh, that's already roughed up. That's already rough. So how about we just rub that a little bit with the ink. And I think that's okay. And I'm wondering if there's something else. Let's get rid of that. Oh, I do want to make this a little bit more prominent, the tops. So you can see that. You know, it also helps where people can go and write something, you know. Alright, so let's get it down again and dry. I just realised I used my how's that looking? And there. She looks pretty stark, doesn't she? Compared to how my other one's a little bit aged up more. I think we can also, while it's wet, add a little bit of mica. Because normally I just rub it on her so it gives it a bit of shimmer. If that's going to stick, that'd be good. We need some of those little tiny fibres. Right. Okay, just tapping it off in the bin. Okay, so you know when the lights on the tree hit it. But you know what I'm actually thinking, what else? I'm kind of liking the idea of maybe perhaps not so stark like that. That perhaps I need to put in tinsel. Maybe tinsel around. I'm packing as I go, guys, so that way it's not so messy. Alright, so I'm just thinking, yeah, I might let's see what it looks like with a bit of if a tinsel went around it. I think I like the idea with the tinsel. Truth be known. Yeah, yep, I'm going with the tinsel. I'm going with the tinsel. Even though that we are so sewn around those edges, hopefully if we can just get it right on the edge, then we can actually perhaps maybe see that stitching still that I did by hand. You know, you could almost do postcards like this and give them to people and do the back like it's a postcard and put it inside your journal. It might be a lot, but too much. I kind of like it still. It's busy. if I like that blue on there. It's like so distracting to me, but okay, get in there. All right, we're on the home stretch. And let's just pop that, not so tight, but on there. And we can take that off, stick on that down, take that away, and make sure that all of it is stuck down now. You look so cute. You look so cute. I like it. I don't like that blue. Going, gone, get off, I don't like it on there. Yeah, that's better. It was driving me insane. There you go. I am loving that. Okay, let's recap and let's get this about 25 centimeter and about there, about that way, tied in a knot. Something tells me we should, no, I was going to say we should do silver, but no, cut that, so that's ready. It doesn't want to stand, stay lady. Okay, now we need crocodile, and right, and we want to go in somewhere around there. And you know, I always squeeze it so hard across like that, and I'm trying to close it, but I've realized you have to loosen it off a bit. I don't know why I keep doing it. I just constantly do. All right, so we go in and do that, and then look at that, my friends. Voila, how super cute is that? Now I am going to just flip this cardboard bench top down the way, and again, right, there we go, my friends. How cute is that tutorial? To look like that, the front cover, but to spruce it up for your tree, adding a little bit of tinsel around it really made it pop, and I think that is really cute. I love how that, oh, and of course I added the mica snow on there so that when you put it on the tree it glistens when the lights are flashing. I didn't do that to the journals, but in the journals I've actually there's actually a little parcel in there. Where is it? Oh, I don't know where I put it. It's not that one. Here, there's a little parcel inside there of mica snow if you were to buy one of these. So this journal is now released on my website. So it is a Christmas one. I know you probably won't get it for Christmas this year. For this year's Christmas is what I mean, but you will certainly have it for the following year. Yeah, so there you go. I really hope you liked it. I think it's come up really adorable. Yeah, and the back with the little trees. Yeah, because that's what as I said, I don't know if I put it in these ones. Oh yes, I did. See how you can see with the little trees? Oh, the trees are in the back there. So yeah, anyway, my friends, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Okay then, bye for now.